Gritty Urban Saga. Thank you guys for joining me. I wanted to put together a list of my top 5 most underrated video games. Now, this is not an all-inclusive list, of course. There are way more than 5 underrated video games in history, but these are just the ones that are on my mind at the moment, so my opinion can change. I might be putting together another of these lists very shortly. So, let's get right into it. Now, at number 5, E.T. Now, E.T. is a game that I feel is vastly underrated. I feel a lot of the people who down this game have never really played it, because this game has very many merits. First of all, look at how fast your character moves on the screen. Look, there are collectibles. You actually get to pick things up. Well, who am I fooling? Never mind. That's not really number 5. The real number 5, Binary Domain. This is a game that had it all to me. Me and Clutch Maneuvers were beside ourselves. We played through this full game in a day. We switched back and forth, just playing each level and beat the whole game. We couldn't put it down, and that is not an exaggeration. That's actually what happened. It has graphics, it has character development. It actually depends on how much other characters in your squad like you. That actually affects the outcome of the game. There are different endings and things. It's just an old school Sega shooter that got put into the new school technology, and I loved it. It was just a lot of fun. So check it out. At number 4, Homefront. Now, Homefront is a game that a lot of people have probably heard of. It got okay reviews, but once again, this is something where I played through it and I was just enthralled. I was very much absorbed into the game. The premise of the game is that North Korea comes over and just basically flexes on the United States. It says, hey, this is our place now, and you play as a freedom fighter. There's a movie called Red something. It has the remake has Thor in it, but it's a lot like that. Basically, an invasion happens and you're a freedom fighter trying to make it so things are right again. You know, they're trying to basically fend off people who are invading your home. And I just felt it was very relevant at the moment that I was playing it. The graphics were great. It was gritty. You know how I love things that are gritty, of course. But it was gritty to a certain extent where there are pits like full of people, bodies, people who were probably your neighbors, people you used to see at the store. I mean, this game just really did a good job of not pulling punches and really showing people how gritty they could be. So I wanted to put that one at number 4. At number 3, now this game here, Wolverine, X-Men Origins Wolverine. Now, a lot of people don't like the movie itself, but this game, I assure you, has nothing to do with the movie. It was a movie tie-in, and the only thing that tied in was the front cover. It showed Hugh Jackman on the front, and then as you played through the game, it has nothing to do with the movie plot. The combat was awesome. The boss battles were awesome, epic, out of control. Your healing factor showed up on your character. The real-time damage did. You got to just run through, chop people up. I mean, anything you wanted to do as Wolverine, it's in this game. Okay, if you could think about it as Wolverine, it happens in this game. Probably in the first 10 seconds it happens in this game. The opening cinematic shows him just tearing people to shreds. So it's not all about violence, but it's really refreshing as a big fan of X-Men comic books to have a good comic book related game that came and a lot of people just think that, you know, Arkham, the Batman series, is the best, but this game really was the best in its time. So I really wanted to give a touch on that. So yeah, that's number 3. Number 2, The Getaway. The Getaway, it's a game that was supposed to be a launch title for the PlayStation 2. That's how far back this game got set, because they accurately portrayed every part, not the entire part of London, but they accurately portrayed it down to pictures. They basically took pictures of textures, took pictures of the streets, and mapped out the entire city. So it gets down because it's not Grand Theft Auto, but that's not what they were going for here. They were not going for a Grand Theft Auto clone. They were trying to make a gritty cop drama. And it has 2 alternate storylines that kind of bend off and branch and then come back to each other, where you play as a criminal and you play as a cop. I don't know why I'm getting my words twisted here, but it's just an awesome game. I implore you, if you have a PS2, put this game in, see what they've done, because it's like you're playing a movie. It really is. They got real actors. They had people sit down in a room, and it actually revolutionized motion capture and sound capture. So yeah, give it a chance. The Getaway. Black Monday also is the sequel, so if you love The Getaway, you'll be able to play that. And at number 1, X-Men Mutant Apocalypse. Now, this is a game, it's side-scrolling, it's made by Capcom, so you know, I mean, as far as what they've done with the Mega Man series, what they did with Street Fighter, excellent art, excellent gameplay. I love the moves. This game got downed because of the moves list. They said that the characters didn't have enough moves, but I see games that come out today that are 2D side-scrolling action games that don't have as many moves as these characters have had. So even in that time, I mean, they were working off a SNES cart, and it's just a marvel. It really is. And not to use that word as in the comic books, but it really is. They did a really good job. They put the characters into the game. They captured their persona, their special moves, their mutant abilities. It just really did what it was supposed to for me. So overall, I would say this is one of the most underrated games of all history. I think it pulled in like 7s, and I really don't see very many side-scrolling action games that involve licensed characters that are doing much better than this game. So that's number 1 on my list for now. If you guys have your own top 5, I'd love to hear about it in the comments here. Maybe I'll check out some of you guys' top 5 as well. Thanks for stopping by. Gritty Urban Saga.